So, uh, uh, take these fucking things off. Take your fucking mask off for you audio listeners. How fucking ridiculous are we right now? Never again. Don't ever put one of them fucking things back on your face. Ever. Ever. Don't pay the fine. Just don't fucking do it. They're trying to make it part of... Okay, this is how we fucking wound up with clothes on. To be honest with you. That's why we have clothes on. Who the fuck wants... Do you want to have clothes on? I don't want to have clothes on. That's how we wound up with them. Mandatory, you must put clothes on. Now they're trying to reverse, and so girls can have titties out in public. And that's great. Everybody likes that, right? But we're trying to put masks on? Oh, watch out. Oh, you don't cover your mouth, you're going to get the deadly disease. It's 0.002% deadly. What the fuck is really going on out there? Out there in this vast, ever-changing, crazy-ass world. You know, I did figure out one thing. So, I always wondered this as a child. And I'm going to bring it up right now. I have never brought this up to anyone else. But what I did notice as a child was that parents and other adults seem to find themselves frozen somewhere in time. It's like they made it to the 80s and stopped. They made it to the mid-80s and stopped. Some of them stopped in the 70s. And I'm not talking about freezing themselves. I'm talking about that's where their mind is. Does that make sense? It's where their fucking ability to follow the trend stopped. They're not part of the what's hip anymore. That's why you get those old men, goddamn fucking kids, you motherfuckers. Because the children are not living in the age that adult stopped, right? And so they get upset. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? They're out there in the yard. You motherfucker, why are you riding a dirt bike? All we had was pedal bikes. You know? But, so this is where I think I'm stopping. Right here in 2020. Right? I'm stopping at this point in time. Because now y'all motherfuckers are wearing masks. Y'all are acting crazy. People are fucking transgender, triple transgender, whatever the fuck is going on out there. I don't give a fuck if you guys get mad at me. I don't give a fuck. What are you gonna do? I'm stuck in the era of the fucking badass. The one that's like, you're not telling me to put a fucking mask on my face. Who the fuck do you think you are? I've got one. Don't get me wrong, I've got one right here. But you know what that's for? Mycology. So my breath doesn't poison my mycelium. Okay. I think that's enough mask talk, honestly. But I just really wanted to point out that as I was growing up, see, I'm more intelligent than I seem. Whatever. But I'm more intelligent than I seem. And so as I was growing up, I was observing. I was always looking around, trying to find out what was going on and how to be an adult and all this stuff when I was a kid. I was just constantly observing, back and forth and trying to figure it out. And one of the things that I noticed was that people had stopped in time. I noticed, my mother didn't wear the same clothes that I did. Or that she didn't talk the same way the kids did in school, right? And it was just like, what caused that? And it's because this life slowly begins to be more ridiculous as we go along. It just gets more and more ridiculous. We're fucking Donald Trump is our president. Used to, you had to be a sophisticated politician to even get a foot in the door, right? And then you had to have a background in politics that was steeped in the tradition of the American way. You know, all this shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. Donald Trump, I'd rather have him over fucking Hillary. Holy shit. This bitch killed motherfuckers in Benghazi. Are you shitting me? Wow. She killed fucking Epstein. Don't get me wrong, that guy was a fucking idiot. And did some fucked up shit, right? You know, even though he's dead, doesn't mean the shit's not still going on. Somebody owns this fucking island. I don't think that bitch is just gone. Somebody's got it. And somebody probably got offered $150 billion fucking dollars to keep it open, right? I think. Anyway, point is, you know, life just keeps getting more creepy as it goes along. And just weird. And the adults, they're like, okay, I can follow this, I can follow that, I get it. And, well, at first, you know, when we're kids, it's like, oh yeah, whoa, fucking trends and all this fun stuff and this is normal life. And then, slowly as we get older, right, it turns into, well, that's kind of fucking weird, right? You're like, that's a little strange. I don't think I'm going to follow that. I'm going to step off from that one. And then it gets a little farther and you're like, really? So now we've got a disease that everybody's lying about, psychos in the fucking government, and or maybe it's just people slowly begin to figure out what the fuck's going on, and eventually they just push themselves away from the table and they're like, I'm done. I'm done here. And that's kind of what I'm doing with the mask thing. I'm like, you know, I think that's a bit far. That's infringing on my fucking rights just to be a human. Look, man, I put clothes on for you motherfuckers. I took care of myself. That was good. I did all kinds of shit to be a part of this life and to be normal. There's a lot of people that don't make that choice and they just go fucking ape shit, right? They wind up in a hospital or they wind up, you know, hiding from the police or whatever. But I'm not putting your fucking gag on. I won't fucking do it. I tell myself every day that I go to the gym, the moment that desk clerk stops me and says, "Excuse me, sir, will you put a mask on?" It's not going to go well. I'm going to say, listen, I have mild asthma. You know, I've got paranoia. I've got anxiety. I'm not putting the damn thing on. And if she said, well, you can't be in this facility, I'm going to say, listen, lady, you either let me in this facility or I leave. Now, I've come up here almost every other day, and I see that this parking lot has about 6 cars in it. Goddamn motherfucking thing. Sorry about that, if it made any noise. So, I come up to this gym, and there's about 6 cars up here. Imagine you don't have that many memberships. I'm sure you got some sort of community thing going on, right? But as far as me leaving, it's a bit detrimental to the purpose of the gym. And I actually use the facility. But this is why, you know, at that point I would say, well, listen, I want to relinquish my contract and I want out of this because nowhere in my contract did it say I had to wear a mask. So let me out of it. And I want my money back too. So that will be the case. As I would suggest any of you that are going to the gym, you know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Plus, even some of the signs say if you're doing strenuous activity, you don't have to have your mask on. What in the fuck do you do at the gym if you're not doing a strenuous activity? whatever. Anyway, so moving on. Speaking of gym, I got the gym life thing going on. I am single and I'm going to the gym. So my breakup has caused me to start losing weight, and the gym has caused me to start gaining muscle. And with that very combination, I'm starting to look pretty fucking good. All right? And the problem with that is, I think that I'm getting attention, right? And it's not. My beard gets more attention than I do. I feel like my beard is not part of me or something. I've gotten compliments, and maybe this is the same thing with like a chick's ass or something, where a guy's like, man, you got a nice ass, and they're like, hey, I'm up here, right? Girls are like, oh, your fucking beard is hot or whatever, and I'm like, well, I know how to work on things. I'm pretty successful. I run a podcast. I do a number of things, and there's a lot more to me. I feel like the beard is like, hey, my eyes are up here, ladies. Anyway, that's my ridiculousness for this one. But it really is like that. It bees like that. See, the trend went away, and so all these fucking trend followers. I had a fucking beard years ago. Years ago. Yeah, many years ago, actually. And I've kind of maintained it, had different shapes and stuff, and finally went with the, I'm getting a little older, so I'm just going to put some of that wisdom on my chin there. So all the fucking fanboys, the trend followers, were all hauled off and shaved their shit. Because they're like, okay, fellas, that's enough of the beard shit. We need to go back to clean cut. And they're like, oh, clean cut? Clean cut. Cut in their face. And I'm like, the fuck? Who said that? I had a young lady message me, and she says, I don't normally like guys with beards, but I really just want to play with yours or whatever. And I was like, you don't like guys with beards? So you like women? I really fucking said that. I mean, that's like saying, I don't really like girls with tits. I can't really get into that. But, I mean, you have them, so. Could you imagine how fucking ridiculous that would sound? We grow hair on our face. That's what males do. Men. Pardon me, not boys. It's just, why is my beard even... I mean, that's the only thing that does really is signify that I'm a fucking male. Except for every other fucking aspect of me, because I'm sexy as fuck right now. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about myself. Anyway, so more about me. In my daily life, I've been going to the gym and being single, and there's fucking hot girls up there. I'm not going to lie. Ben's already talked to a couple of them. I haven't talked to any yet. I haven't really had an opportunity to do so. But there's a steam room, there's a fucking sauna, and, the other stuff. The weightlifting crap. But that's kind of how I look at the gym. But yeah, Ben, he sat down and talked to a lady for about 30 minutes in the steam room, which I imagine he was probably about half dead in the midst of that. I would have been like, yeah, what was that about your cat? Fuck, he's hot. But apparently he made his way through it and planned a second steam date with the young lady. And then he, he's been single longer now. So I have to kind of play catch up. Not that it's a competition or anything, but I just forgot completely how to be single. I really truly thought, with the connection that I had with Jamie, that it was gonna be fine, right? And I was like, let go of everything. Not let go of I didn't let go, but just my personality of waiting to see if this works out went away, right? Because everybody has that whenever they first get together. They go, all right, kind of feeling things out, right? And then we go, uh, okay, is this, we're going to see if this is working out, 6 months in or whatever. And all right, well, I can kind of relax. I feel like this is going to go somewhere, for a while. Obviously not forever, because that's not what fucking happens in relationships. But, I let my guard down. I let everything ride, and I just kind of became a stepdad and a dad and a spouse, and then all the fucking chaos throughout the past 2 years. Anyway, so that's irrelevant. But I just forgot how to be single because it's been a while, and that's understandable. And so I got to get that back, I guess. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Talking to girls, it's very strange right now. Earlier today, actually, I was in the where was I? I was in the Holiday Station, and I was milling around, fucking trying to find like a water or something, and I got a water and a banana because my muscles were cramping or whatever. And I was like, fuck, I gotta stop this because I just got done working out, just came back from the gym, and this fucking little hottie was like eyeballing me. And before I was in a relationship, this last relationship, I would have been like, hey, what you looking at? Come here, But something stopped me this time. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like I couldn't, I don't know. It was weird, right? And so I was, but it's a situation, like it's just like, it's like ready or not. You're single now. You don't have to. I mean, you don't have to either way. But like, whenever a girl talks to you, you don't have to say, "Hey, well, try to veer the conversation into just friends or acquaintances or whatever." You don't have to do that anymore. You can be like, "So you want to hang out? Let's fucking hang out, right? Do whatever." If you want. Which I don't imagine I really know a guy that if you're attractive and saying the right things that he'd be like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. That's such a good idea because that's what my mother told me, and I don't allow ladies in my home. It's not like that. Anyway, I get off on these fucking tangents for some reason. But I guess what are they supposed to say if you're intellectual? I digress. But so away from the whole girls and things, I do want to make sure that I'm constantly doing the right thing. And I know I just put a cigarette in my mouth, but that's not what I mean. I mean, there are times when this world will try you and it will do its best to fuck you up. And it can make you into a sinister being. It can make you into an empty type person to where you don't really want nothing to do with anybody, especially the gender that fucking hurt you, right? And like I said, the reason why I said that is because it can go both ways. It's like you have to maintain your morals, your dignity, your respect, your honor, your courage, all that stuff. Self-confidence. You have to maintain all of that stuff. And people are going to fucking shoot these words at you until they attempt to break you down, but you cannot let it. You cannot let it. And so that's something I've been focusing on and thinking about all the time. I have to make sure that I'm telling myself I'm not wrong. I'm also listening to people when they are telling me I am wrong, but I know right from wrong. And it's just, that's kind of the things I've been thinking about. So be good no matter what. Even through bad people or bad situations, it doesn't matter. Always be good. Always stay true to who you are in your core, in your soul, and do what your heart knows to be right. And that's what I have been doing. That's what I've been focusing on. That's what keeps friendships. That's what keeps relationships. That's what makes your whole life better. Is to stick by yourself. Your own true gut feelings and everything in that realm. Basically just it's all summed up with what you know is right. And that's something I've been really focusing on, really hammering, really forcing people outside of my life to understand that. I will not be swayed by what's right or by what's wrong. And I never will. And that's kind of what my other subject was too. Going back to doing things normal again without others' input. Well, I guess that's a little different. Going back to things normal is basically having my own choice without having to consider another person. And this is merely a side effect. Or I guess a side note, more like. It's not the purpose of the breakup is what I'm trying to say. Going back to normal means going back to what it was before the relationship, which was simply just, being able to have my own dishes and wash my own dishes, have my own company, and start, and take care of my own company and be responsible for only myself. There was a lot of times that it was largely embarrassing because I was partially responsible for my significant other because she was never mind. Anyway, I really wanted to do a studio video cast for you guys so that I can just kind of be present with you. I almost left. And I was like, oh, fuck my people. What the fuck? I haven't been putting out any content like an asshole. I'm gonna fucking tell you why. Right? I was in a fucking relationship where I was constantly fucking stressed at all times. I was wondering if she was fucking other people, right? All the fucking time. All the time. Day and night. I dreamed about it. I had nightmares. That's why. That's why I haven't been talking to you guys. Don't tell nobody. Alright, so, I haven't really been putting out any content, so I just decided to pop back in. I got my bags packed and everything out there. I got to driving around Iowa and Wisconsin and shit. So, got to deliver some damn windows for some damn good people. Some of them are assholes. I'm okay with that. And, the majority of people are like, oh, hey, you got my windows. And I'm like, I got your fucking windows. But I'm going to go to work. I did a solid 25 minutes and I really wanted to get on here and be present. I think that is the goal in this one. Just to be here for you. One of the things, real quick before I go, one of the things that I mentioned to Ben, because he's the other podcaster on my channel, one of the things that I mentioned to Ben was that a lot of you friends in his podcast and stuff have all actually helped me with making it through a lot of hard times. And I realized, everybody's been telling me, and I mean every fucking body too, like everybody that listens to this, You know, it's a familiar voice. You know, sometimes you can use it to get through hard times. Sometimes you can get it and laugh with other people whenever you find something funny or whatever. Whatever the case may be, it seems like mine and Ben's podcasts are starting to become a household local familiarity for, you know, whoever. But, and I was telling Ben that, you know, even though we may not have all the content in the world, you know, we don't have exciting lives or anything. We really don't. But to be on here and be a familiar voice, even if we're just background noise, sometimes all you need to do is, I don't know who all is listening to this, because there's like 600 people a fucking day, right? And so I don't sit here and want to make this channel fucking huge or anything. I just want to be that familiar voice that gets somebody through something. So that's why if I don't have content, I'll still get on here and talk to you. I'm just talking. I'm not doing anything special. I'm not doing nothing too crazy. Ben said that I have better content when I'm on the road. And I agree with him, because all I'm doing is staring at the windshield listening to music. And that's... But the whole point is, I'm on here to give... I guess I'm on here to give people comfort. And to just be present. Like I said. If it helps one person, good. If there's a bunch of people that hate me, good. You got something to fucking hate in your life. I don't know. But anyway, I gotta get to work. I gotta get shit done. You guys know me. I'm out there. Hit me up. Next weekend, we have Mr. Branstner and Wyatt Henderson gonna be on the podcast. It's gonna be 3 of them. It's gonna be a Treehouse podcast. And it won't be 3 podcasts. It'll be 3 people. It'll be a Treehouse podcast. I'm not sure if we're going to have other guests. But we are doing it Saturday. And if those fucks flake out, I'll still be here. How about that? All right. I got to get going. I got to get to work. You motherfuckers are making me late. Holla!